don't gotta shoot, I got shooters. I know I'm cooler than the cooler. I know this way you keep your alcohol. I know that I'm about the ball. All of my niggas is savages. Mean off the bone like some scavengers. I know that them fly, I got passengers. I love Jesus Christ and Bible passages. My girl so fly, she have a Merlin. She love the majesty like Merlin. And the balls like a Laker, Irvin. Should've kept it clean like just detergent. Shit, I done let the cat up out the bag. I get naked and let the dick out the sack. Let it breathe, get some air. Baby, please, I'm already there. Decadent creamery everywhere. I represent me, it's a love affair. Smelling the trees, it's a buzzing here. Can't be down with the team if you weren't prepared. Hey, this is my style. I do with this some attention. Hey, I'm wild. So I guess I'ma keep on spitting. Nigga, I borrowed your style, but you won't get no honorable mention. I'm rocking it better than you. I'm making retire no pension. I just get the bread out the food. Apply sandwich bread and make it smooth. My movement gon' move, that's the move. The only option not to lose. Hey, never been scared, you ain't prepared. I ain't sorry. Your breezy clearly walked the ass over here. I ain't sorry. Mad cause you think I ran out with your beer. I ain't sorry. You trippin' cause you think I stole your career. I ain't sorry. Hey, you ain't feeling me, no apologies. I ain't sorry. Hey, sorry not sorry. Hey, I ain't sorry. I don't even feel that bad, my nigga. I ain't sorry. Give no fucks about ya.
Yo. Here's what I want to know. Here is really what I want to know. Who killed the damn dinosaurs, man? First of all, pay no attention to that lady that's frozen in time, about to get eaten by that T-Rex. If y'all don't recognize that T-Rex behind me, that is Sue. She is known as the most intact T-Rex fossil ever found in the world. They say she's 65 million years old. I'm like, man, how do you know she's not 64 million years old? They say, well. And I say, well. So that means you might be wrong by a million years. Mr. Scientist, welcome to an episode of Coffee and Bong Hits with Jessie. This is the coffee here. This is, let's see. These the Bong Hits. Yo, that intro music, that was from my man Rajim, the Black Bishop. You'll be able to catch Rajim with an exclusive live kitchen performance on New Year's Eve when we have our giant New Year's Eve extravaganza exclusively on urbansurvivorman.com. If I get the website working again. You know, my website's worked perfectly for about 4 months. And then I messed up and decided that I was going to let WordPress upgrade for me the other day. And now I'm having all sorts of problems. So we had to put in a queue, or not a queue, like a work order into the queue. Anyways, look, we got angles. I can hit you with this angle and you're like, whoa, is that a Tyrannosaurus behind you? And then I'll be like, yeah, that's a Tyrannosaurus right there. That's a Brontosaurus right there. Or maybe that's a Diplodocus. Anyways, yeah, pay no attention to that lady's frozen in time. Also, when you go to see Sue, the T-Rex, make sure you stop off and get a Chicago dog with big-ass pickle spears and celery salt and tomato chunks. That was pretty dope. Yo, shout out to the engineer for helping me facilitate that trip. And shout out to the universe for making that shit happen. Yo, who's in the house this morning? Good morning to Erica, Jimbo, another year older and deeper in sweat. Marty Jones is in the house. Wow. Sarah's got a podcast coming out in 2021 called What the F is Ladylike? ? But like I said, you can catch Rajim. Corey's in the house. What up, player? So you can catch Rajim on, like I said, on New Year's Eve. We're going to be watching the ball drop in 4 different time zones. So we'll catch it in like New York City, or maybe I'd rather see if they're going to drop a ball in Ocala. Hey, my. In Ocala, that'd be dope. Let the monkeys balls hot drop. Let them hang. Big old monkey nuts. So anyways, we'll have the East Coast time zone, the West Coast time zone, the Central, and the Mountain. We'll hit all 4 time zones. But then here's the really cool thing is the next day, this is what I'm really excited about, the meal exchange program is playing bingo. Hey kids, do you love bingo? All right. Well, do you really like bingo? Okay, well, do you just like bingo a lot? Okay, well, you just want to play bingo with your friends? Then we got the game for you. It's Bingo XOXO, and it's brought to you exclusively by the Meal Exchange Program. And you can win fabulous prizes. And the money raised will go directly to putting hot meals in the bellies of local community members and put money in the pockets of local restaurants. I think I said that all correctly. I will tell you guys all about it on New Year's Eve. And also, I want to let you guys know that if this is the first time you've ever heard this show, you might be listening to it on Pandora or iHeartRadio or iTunes or Stitcher or Google Podcast. Or you might be listening to it in India or Australia. And if you are, reach out to us. But I want to let you know that besides the audio-only version that you found on the internet, we also record this show every weekday morning at 10 a.m. somewhere in the country. Right now, as you can see, it appears that we're at the Chicago Fieldhouse Museum across from Soldier Field. And pay no attention to that woman that's frozen in time back there. But yeah, so this is Sue right behind me. Today we're going to take a little bit different tour than we usually do. So first, I want to let you guys know that if you want that edgy merch, go to standupandfightback.bigcartel.com. That's standupandfightback.bigcartel.com. And use the promo code COFFEE+BONGHITS and you will get 10% off your order today. Okay, check this out. Hopefully you have learned to start consuming this program on urbansurvivorman.com because soon we are not going to exist in the book of faces. You'll only be able to find us on the 5 Radio XL, television, satellite FM, on your Roku device, one of these other crazy places. Boosh! And don't forget, tomorrow we will be, Friday we will be with Figure 8 playing The Pricer is Writer. That's a real popular game around here, The Pricer is Writer. So don't forget that. Okay, where am I at? So check this out, man. There was dinosaurs on this planet for what they say is 65 million years ago. And then for 65 million years before that. And do you know that within that timeline, Sue, this gorgeous specimen behind me, Sue actually lived closer on the timeline to you and I than Sue does to the oldest versions of dinosaurs. $65 million years. Come on, man. Come on. Are these the same people that told me that there was no intelligent life, intelligent civilization in the Americas, in Central America, in South America? Are these the same buffoons that wore those white powdered wigs and denied people funding unless they believed that the sun rotated around the earth? I hate those people. Sorry, some of you are robots, and I do, as a rule, like robots, but I think a lot of you are really missing out on the most important thing about life, which is having a soul. So we're going to go into that today. We're also going to talk about all the news. Lana, no, it's not, honestly, this is Chicago, you peasants. Y'all ain't never been to Chicago? This is Sue. This is the world's oldest, or the world's most intact T-Rex. Look at those teeth, yo. Eek. You know, Sue, this is the third T-Rex I've ever seen in my life. The first one I ever saw was in Berkeley, California, at the University of Cal Berkeley. But that was mostly just a cast of an original one. And then at the beginning of 2020, I went down to Phoenix, Arizona, and I chased down a T-Rex in Arizona and posted up with it. You know what's crazy, man? You know, people are like, Jesse, how do you see a T-Rex? You literally just make a decision to go see a T-Rex. That's what you do. It's so easy. And the world makes life so complicated, but it does not have to be complicated at all. You can just be like, I'm going to go see a T-Rex, or I'm going to go see a Triceratops, or I'm going to go to Miami, or I'm going to go to Ocala and chase monkeys, or I'm going to go do whatever the hell it is that I want to do. Just go do it, because remember this, your brain is a machine that exists in a finite world of organic material that will grow, die, decompose, and disappear, right? So you have that memory which locks you in to a finite moment in time and space and physical location on this planet, right? Like, for example, say you were Ryan and you took a picture standing in front of an apple tree on the island on a specific date. So look at all those qualifiers that you could use to pinpoint where exactly your brain is, right? It's on a date, on a planet, with a latitude, a longitude. There was a weather report that day. The wind was blowing at a certain amount. There was a certain amount of oxygen saturation in each breath that he took. It had a date on a calendar. The stars were in a certain astronomical alignment. And it's fixed. And you can hear a song, or you can smell a smell, or you can look at a photo, and it will take you exactly back to that one spot, right? That one spot in time and space. So you just take your brain, leave it in that moment, and then your mind, where your soul lives, your infinite mind, can go anywhere. It can go in the future. It can go into the past. It can go to next week. It can go to yesterday. Hopefully, if you live the way that I try to live, you're about 3 seconds in the future, always, and just waiting for this world to catch up. Okay, check this out. I want to tell you guys a funny story. And that is, I married these people at the beach, and I got to sit in and watch the full moon try to seduce the ocean. You know what I mean by that? Like the full moon tries to whisper to the ocean, run away. Run away with me. Leave the earth. For the earth does not love you. Only I love you. Right? And the earth is like, laughs like olive oil. You know how olive oil does? She goes, woohoo. And she gets the goosebumps. And she almost falls for it every time. So I got to sit in on that. But the craziest part was the moon rocks that the groom gave me as a tip for doing the ceremony. These moon rocks are insane, yo. Like, chronic, soaked in oil, then rolled in keef, and then dried out, and then put into this super high pressure bong. So it's 10:15. What I need to remind you guys of is the value of the anteater. Hey kids, are you looking for an environmentally friendly pest remediation solution that the whole family will love? Then bring home an anteater. Anteaters, a cuddly friend that will protect everyone in your house from wolf spiders, daddy longlegs, tarantulas, black widows, stick bugs, praying mantises, crickets, grasshoppers, cockroaches, and centipedes. And I know you're thinking, but Jesse, what if it's a giant centipede? I got it. Get a giant anteater. Brought to you by God. What's up, Finda? Now it's a party. It's like before you show up in the morning, you and Marty both. Same with Nate White. I see you guys, man. Like, oh, right, Finda? You always show up right about the anteater time, too. That's funny. It's kind of weird, though. You never see Finda and the anteater in the same shot. You see the anteater, and then you see Finda showing up going, hey, I heard the anteater was just here. Look, I'm not one to accuse people of being anteaters because I've been accused of being an anteater, and nobody wants that kind of life. But realistically, you got to think about maybe Finda is the anteater. Ah, shit, Vic. What's up, Idaho? I see you. Look at me getting all loud and enthusiastic and inducing an echo. Yesterday, I got way too enthusiastic, and when I listened to the show, it felt like I was a cross between Alex Jones and Billy Jack Haynes. I was like, let me tell you something, me and Jane. Next Friday, we're going to be in Albany. Saturday, we're going to be in Coney Island. All right, so you heard the anteater part. Let me do this. Oh, fuck. They said, Jesse, how are you going to have a show where you take gigantic bong rips without coughing because you can't cough because that'll ruin your show? And I was like, man, I'll just stop coughing. It was like, how are you going to stop coughing? Whenever anybody asks me a question like that, it always reminds me that they don't understand this planet in the same way that I understand this planet. People are so caught up by what they're not allowed to do, by what they're not able to do, by the laws of gravity or the laws of physics or the laws of probability or the laws of diminishing returns. Right? Everybody's just got all these reasons why they can't do shit, man. Like, what did that ever do but just put you in spots where you can't do shit? Just go do shit. I know that sounds too easy. You're like, Jesse, it can't just be that easy. You can't just go do shit. And I'm like, mofo, go do shit. Just do it. Just go do shit. And when you're there, tell me what the hell happened to the dinosaurs. That's what I really want to know, man. Who killed the dinosaurs? Because you ain't going to tell me that you know about a comet that 65 million years ago put up a big plume in the sky. Because I'll tell you this, just a couple years ago, you were trying to tell me that the moon got caught up. Oh, damn, it's cracking in outer space right now, y'all. Hold on, it is cracking in outer space. And a lot of people are speaking languages I do not understand. So let's shake to this. It's 10:20. This is when I'm supposed to go to the outer space breakdown. Yo, here's a real question, man. How many of my people, how many of my listeners, how many of my friends, and if you listen to this later on, how many of you guys really think that you're from another planet, man? How many of you really think that you're Pleiadian or that you're from Alpha Centauri or that you are made of stardust and that you're a divine star being that is just here experiencing the beauty of this of this small opportunity that we've been given, right? These handful of years, these 50, 60, 70 years, when you're telling me that that damn T-Rex is 65 million years old, and there's all these planets out here, all these infinite aquariums, and you want to tell me that I'm just no different than a bug or a dog or a bee or a flower? Bruh, I'm infinite. What we're looking at right here, this ain't nothing but just a weird-ass video game. You want to go down to the blue water planet? Do it. Like, why would I want to go to the blue water planet? Why? It's like, dude, if you go to the blue water planet, they got these things called cliffs. And when the sun is out and it's warm, you can jump off these cliffs and plug your nose and you splash in this stuff called water, and it's super cold, but every cell of your body will just well, I'm in Chicago, yo. Y'all better recognize we are at the Field Museum in Chicago, Illinois today, right across from Soldier Field. You can catch us from all kinds of angles. But look, they're true. We rocking 4 cameras today, man. Ain't nobody doing that. Because we're out of this world. Blown. But yeah, that probably is just a hologram of a flat earth. Look, what's more realistic? The green screen that I got or the green screen that the green screen that NASA has up here with these shots? Yo, we're both just slinging merch. Let's see what else they got going on. For anybody who's listening to us right now on Pandora or Stitcher or iHeart or iTunes or TuneIn or Ghana in India or whatever they listen to us on in Australia, whatever you're listening to, man, shout out to you. Super shout out to you. Because you can't see this, but you're still listening while we stare at the planet from outer space from a camera that's on the International Space Station. Or at least they say it is. They sure have a lot of mistakes, man. Usually we can hear their dialogue between each other, and they're like, did you forget to turn off the stove? And the other guy's like, oh, I thought you were going to do that. And the other guy's like, what's the Wi-Fi password? And these guys really don't seem to understand a lot of the shit going on around them. They're always trying to track down files. Okay, so. Whoops. Remember the old days when we would get to. No way, somebody plays Dragon's Lair? Hey, go to YouTube when you get done with this. Go to YouTube and holy shit, there's supposed to be a spacewalk going on right now. I'm trying to track it down. If you hear me squeal, if I start squealing and just go, oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that's the same shot we already got. Okay, remember last week we had 2 weeks ago we had Rudy Giuliani. I got so used to just being able to go to YouTube and finding a Rudy Giuliani on tour somewhere that now I feel like YouTube is a letdown. All right, so a lot of people, including myself, and I try to distance myself from a lot of people that believe in stuff because they're effing weirdos, right? And I think a lot of the intersectional values that people have that believe in stardust and star seeds and divine beings of light, right? And celestial beings. You know, when people say we are, what is that? You're not a human having a spiritual experience. You're a spirit having a physical experience or whatever. I really believe that. And I really believe that this planet that we sit on and this dimension that we sit on and this finite space that we participate in and that we live on is just like an aquarium. Like the only reason this is the perspective you see is because you're refusing to take or unable to take one step back. Yo, wait till next week when we premiere some mind-blowing shit, man. We're going to have an aquarium cam which shoots through the aquarium. And the aquarium will shoot back out into another reality. And then you guys will see it through my camera lens, which is another reality. And then that reality will go through my laptop, which is another reality, into your phones, which is another reality, into your eyeballs, which is another reality. And so we're going to try to set the world record for most different reality perspectives that we can get, right? And then on the roof across the way outside, there's going to be another man doing some things. Sorry, you guys might be getting a little sick of this one angle. Let me see what I got. Let's do this. Let's go to this, and then we'll this to this. There. So for those who missed it, I am in Chicago, Illinois at the Fieldhouse Museum. That lady behind me is participating in an epic game of freeze tag. She got tagged earlier. She couldn't make it to base. So she is frozen. Pay no attention to her. We can always just switch up and go with this one if you guys want. Oh, we didn't? Hold on. That's fine. This is a great angle to it. Okay. So it's we're having a good time here this morning. I do want to know though, what are you guys smoking on? I forgot to ask you guys that. What are you smoking on this morning? And do you have animal souls in your butt? That's what I want to know. What are you smoking on this morning? And do you currently have animal souls in your butt waiting to make the great escape? Speaking of which, shout out to all my Arcturians who are stuck on this planet, all my Pleiadians, all my light creatures who just, it's weird because there's such a similar experience all these people are having, this feeling, knowing that they're part of something bigger, that they're here for a reason, that this can't just be all that it is. That all your hopes, all your dreams are just here for one fleeting moment. You're going to tell me that T-Rex lived 65 million years ago. And then we just showed up. When? When did we show up, man? The Bible says 6,000 something years ago. Archaeology says we probably were here right before the last ice age. DNA science puts us back like a million years, right? Back to when we broke from the lineage with Australopithecus or some shit, right? The Babylonian and Sumerian texts and the Egyptian texts puts us back. Shit, the Sumerian king list. How far back? Let me just Google this real quick. How far back does the Sumerian king list? How far back does the Sumerian king list go? Oh man, come on, just give me 338,000 years is just what's off the top. And that's just from the documented lists that people kept. People have been around here for a long ass time. A long ass time. Oh shit, speaking of long ass time, how many times do you think that Red Panda done flipped these bowls? I've already taken 2 bowls to the head. I'm going to try and get 2 more in before Red Panda gets these 4. I'll see you guys in 30, bras. Is Coffee and Bong Hits with Jessie. Thanks to everybody who just found us as an audio-only podcast. Man, so I'm trying real quick to figure out how far back Edgar Casey says people go. Man, y'all know about Edgar Casey? Edgar Casey is like my favorite dude ever. For those who don't know who Edgar Casey is, Edgar Casey was known as the Sleeping Prophet. He was not an intelligent man, was not a very literate man, yet was able to fall asleep and access this infinite library of information that he has as an unintelligent, illiterate person with real no education, was able to access this information, this hall of records. And people say, oh, he wasn't right all the time. Like, dude, most of you guys aren't right all the time, and you have a goddamn laptop in front of you, right? Edgar Casey was able to tap in to an infinite resource with infinite, oh shit, there's birds coming up to this window? I didn't even know they got down like that. For those that don't know, we were sometimes, we're in a museum. That's right, we're in a dinosaur museum. My bad, don't believe me? Look, if I wasn't in a dinosaur museum, then where would I get all these cool bones from, right? Like, wow, Jesse, that's a shitload of bones. I'd be like, no, duh, because... Oh, you know what, Corey? I think you're absolutely right that I should narrate those red panda videos. I really should. So for those who are just now listening to us on Pandora or iTunes or iHeartRadio or the TuneIn Radio app, or if you're listening to us in India, or if you're consuming this content in Australia, good day, mate. Dude, I just learned about this crazy ass lizard that lives in Australia. That's holy shit. Yo, we're gonna watch that in a minute, but I gotta pull up a video first. I forgot that it's 35 minutes after the hour, and every day we bring up one of our friends' music videos because we have so many friends that make music videos. Let's see. You know what? Let's do this. I bet if I play a Diction video, then we could get Diction. We can manifest Diction like he was a demon. Watch. Let's see if we could do this. Let me see if I got the technology. This will be dope. Because remember, at 35 after the hour, we will play your music video. So shoot that shit, son. You know I ain't no gatekeeper. Hold on, man. That was my bad. Let me turn this volume up. Yes, y'all. This is my man, Diction. With Cool Nuts and Randall Wyatt.
Belushi brain any given day, go getting sushi, great brisket. On life, high octane, roll dice, weighs the range. Biochemist, literally legally insane by clinical definitions. Seems so nice yet, he's so might get menace, suppressed and beseeching. Hey, why you demon bulimic patience? Don't play shit, heavyweight, set frame, hit. BSI head cave in, head case shit, death rate devastation. On that Lansky savvy tactician, could dollar Bugsy did shit, you could get it, trust me. Middle-handed magician, his scissors a witch that spell cast bloody. You could get it, metaphysics past ugly, comma, kazi, comma, your bars, colon, tsunami, uno shitting on these fucking marks of godly. Never vacuum what you find to be. It keeps screaming, it's designed to me. Jumping to my bones, it's the demons that are fighting.
What? Diesel P? Diesel P?
I've been one with the concrete, walked on by some large feet. Hung with some zombies who bit me and turned me part beast. Always felt complete, but what I speak is all peace. Especially in hard streets where straps ain't for car seats. Right along with me as I promote the living heartbeat. Not those who spark heat with a purpose to start beef. I live Cause my life's been on the line too many times, it's like a coke bench. I still don't follow showbiz or who they call the dopest. Cause I define what dope is, and it's the guy that wrote this. And I've been treated the lowest, felt the breeze, the cold shoulders, but never blow over, not boasting. I'm a showman who's proud to be outspoken. No joke, can't control the sound when my mouth opens. I felt doubt and hopeless if the crowd would notice. Yo, have they noticed? No, but I keep going.
I got a side of me, nerve-wracking what you find to be. It keeps screaming, it's designed to me. Suffer through my bones, it's the demons that are fighting.
Oh shit! Is it the king? King Kunas? What?
Got a little older and a lot better. I had to be my own man and break the tether. From the cold concrete known as Northeast, we the architects crafting how the bars speak. I was marathon minded at the track meet. They was focused on the sprint and not the winning streak. In the trenches with a gladiator mindset. They want the credit, but it ain't came the time yet. I move with a cause and a focused motive. I worked up the heart when it felt hopeless. In a struggle that some couldn't tolerate. I was blessed with a path to a better fate. A couple more rations on the brunch plate. And some revenue streams that'll elevate. A 2020 vision back in '09. And my life journey still stuck on
Said I got a side of me, nerve-wracking what you find to be. It keeps screaming, it's designed to me. Suffer through my bones, it's the demons that are fighting.
Yo. You know what I always tell you guys, man? Shoot me your shit. Shoot me your shit. Boom. All right, let's see if that will conjure up diction. Yo, but I found this other shit that I'm really feeling too, though. Look. Look, man, I can't. So this is, as much as it's important that we look at the planet from far away to check our perspective, right? We got to remember that the land on this planet is an aberration, right? Because truly we are a water planet. The oceans dictate everything that goes on here. The oceans are what gives us life. The oceans are what sustains the watersheds and the water cycles. Look at those guys, man. You think they give a shit about anything that you care about? They out there just finding Nemo or whatever. Look, man, right when I said it, there's Nemo and his dad. Y'all thought I watched this already once. Nope. This is what happens when you live a couple seconds in the future, but y'all don't want to hear that, man. Look at that. Just wandering around, rubbing your little fish balls on all the plants. That must feel good. It's got to. Why else would they be doing it? You like fish sticks, Kanye? All right, let me check my little clock. What am I supposed to be doing? Oh, it's 10:40, so I'm supposed to be checking the news, man. All right, you guys remember this. It's 40 minutes after the hour, so I'll bring you guys the news because I ain't even checked it yet. I try to live outside of the aquarium. Remember that part? Man, so the $2,000 stimulus check stall, but the Treasury starts to send out $600 payments. I know people that already got theirs. But all I want to do is just keep watching these fish, right? That's really all I care about. I don't care about none of this shit. Y'all watching TV, watching football, sitting on a couch. Fuck that, man. Go be a fish. Look at those fish. I bet there's a whole planet where we just get to live underwater like Aquaman, and we get to jump as far as we want and swim and breathe and just float forever. Like all you gotta do is float. You never get a bad back. Your wrist don't never hurt. He's just floating around, talking to fish. They're just like, "What up, homie?" You're like, "What up, fish?" Think of the biodiversity that happens on this planet, and then think how logical is it, man, to really think that we all came from the same split single cell that's split into half, right? And then what from that? Look, I'm gonna tell you guys something, and I feel like it's cheat codes, but I've been to that place, man. I've been to the place. I was just there like 2 months ago. I went to the place where infinite potential drips out of the source, right? The source is like a hose, and the infinite potential is the water that comes out of the very tip of the hose. And you know how the water kind of undulates and moves and cycles and hits circles when it is coming out the hose, right? And you're trying to look right into it, but it's like doing this thing. As it comes out the hose, it's like spiraling, but it's going around you, and you try to swim up to it, and you're like, all right, let me just get up into it so I can really, but no, you can't. You can't. That's like God's urethra or something. I don't know what it is, and I don't really know how to describe it, but there's something intelligent there that's cranking it out like a 3D printer or something. Does that make sense? Like, I've seen it, right? Boom. So some people end up being humans, and some end up being crabs, and some end up being octopuses, and some end up being kangaroos, and some end up being sea urchin, and some end up being fart noises, and some end up being jokes, and some end up being recipes, and some end up being songs, and some end up being laughs, and some end up being flowers, and some end up being fears, and some end up being goldfish, and some end up being freaking trees. And some used to end up being dinosaurs, but they don't end up being dinosaurs anymore. But we can make more dinosaurs. It's all a lot for me to process. All right, let's dive into the news, I guess. So for anybody that's never listened to this show, I try to avoid digging into the news the best I can. But sometimes the voice in my head is like, yo, G, you should check the news. And so I'm going to check the news today. And it's going to be about the stimulus checks. I guarantee that much. But hopefully there'll be some story about how life is sucking for the president. Because that's what we want. We want the president's life to continue to get worse. And we want Mitch McConnell's face to continue to get purpler. And we want his skin to continue to peel and get flaky. And we want his hair to continue to get like build up on the follicles, right? Where it's just like that orange follicle crust that you see in some kids in elementary school. Remember, you would walk down, like you have to walk up to get your paper in the front of the class, and you'd walk back down through the aisle. Shit. Man, did you see that? The congressman-elect from Louisiana is dead from COVID. Nobody cares about you, man. Nobody cares about any of you guys. Okay, so here we go. Here are new laws that go into effect in Oregon and Portland. I think this is what we needed to look into. So let me fix this real quick. Stop screen. Well, hold on. Alaska Airlines becomes the first major U.S. airline to announce an emotional support animal ban. I'm with that, man. We don't need no emotional support minks passing the COVID. Right now, it's the end of the world. We can't just let random people bring random animals on freaking airplanes. I'm with that. Okay. So here are new laws that go into effect in Portland and Oregon in 2021. The cigarette and tobacco tax increase. I tried to bring that up last month, and then I've spaced it all out. $2 a pack on your cigarettes, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys, but you should have quit smoking a long ass time ago. I love you, and that's why I want to quit smoking. Just vape.
With the new year comes new laws. Several go into effect around the state. Let's walk you through some of these. Starting on January 1st,
Hold on.
a pack of cigarettes.
This is horrible. This is okay. Hold on, I have some technical difficulties. That lady's voice is super loud in my effing ear.
The tax on cigarettes and other tobacco products will kick in. The extra money will pay for public health programs and health coverage for low-income families. Also, in 2021, people will be able to get a driver's license and ID no matter what their legal status is. They'll no longer have to provide proof of U.S. citizenship, but they will have to prove they live here in Oregon. Then on February 1st, the new law decriminalizing drugs will take effect. A person caught with a small amount of drugs will face a $100 fine, which could be waived if they seek treatment. Now, just to be clear, this does not legalize drugs.
You could get our
Those with 2 or
prepaid
more
drug
past drug
infraction
convictions may
insurance.
face more serious penalties. You can find much more information about these new laws on our website. Just search for this story.
That was it. I got hustled right there, guys. Sorry about that. Yo, can you see though? Like, we are hitting them from 4 different angles at the Chicago Fieldhouse Museum. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Don't pay no attention to that lady who's still frozen from that game of freeze tag. But yeah, we're trying to push the envelope here on this show. And so if you listen to this on a podcast only or on an audio only basis, I love the fact that you're listening, and I feel like you can still gain a lot from listening to this show. And we would like you to participate live, though, if you could, as we record our daily episode for the 5 Radio XL. So what you have to do that is to go to urbansurvivorman.com at 10 a.m. on the West Coast. That's Portland, Oregon, and Los Angeles, and Seattle, and Oakland, and San Diego, and Santa Barbara, and the Channel Islands. Did you know about the Channel Islands? All right, so yeah, let's go real quick into that Alaska Airlines story, because I know people are going to be like, what the heck? So I want to tell you guys real quick. And it will just take me 1 second. Alaska Airlines announces emotional support animal travel ban. Alaska Airlines will soon, let me make sure it's up there. Yeah, okay. Let me close that. Alaska Airlines will soon ban emotional support animals from flights, becoming the first major U.S. airline to do so after the Department of Transportation revised its regulations earlier this month about what constitutes a service animal. Beginning January 11th, Alaska will only... January 11th, that's the day of the pitchfork. 111. Alaska will only allow service dogs, which it defined in a press release as dogs that are specially trained to perform tasks for the benefit of a qualified individual with a disability, including psychiatric service dogs, the airline said Tuesday in a news release. I don't know why I'm stumbling with so many of these words. Sorry, guys. Passengers with emotional support animals with reservations booked prior to January 11th will still be allowed to fly, but no exceptions will be made after February 28th. The Department of Transportation announced December 2nd its revised Air Carrier Access Act would no longer classify emotional support animals as service animals, which are allowed to fly with passengers on commercial airlines under federal law. Advocacy group Airlines for America, which represents major U.S. airlines, previously expressed support for the Department of Transportation's revisions, although Alaska is the first U.S. airline to formally announce it will enact them. Alaska's new policy allows up to 2 service dogs per request, and those guests will be required to fill out a DOT form available on the airline's website beginning January 11th to confirm that the service dog is trained and vaccinated and will behave appropriately during the journey. So this just means Airlines have also questioned whether some passengers may be trying to pass off their pets as support animals, be they cats, rabbits, or birds, among others, in order to avoid paying the associated fees. So, Alaska Airlines Director of Customer Service Advocacy, Ray Prentice, says the regulatory change is welcome news as it will help us reduce disturbances on board while continuing to accommodate our guests traveling with qualified service animals. Thanks, Ray. That was a great quote. Okay, look, I don't have to get out of here for 9 minutes, but I would rather spend that 9 minutes looking at videos of fish or astronauts, and we can all do that from the comfort of our home. So, yeah, freeze tag is life. So I just want to remind you guys, while I got 4 cams rocking right now, that tomorrow night, New Year's Eve, we have on urbansurvivorman.com, we have the You Can't Touch This New Year's Eve socially distant extravaganza. That will be great. And then the next day, we will have Friday, our very first international episode of Coffee and Bong Hits, which will kick off a whole new year for everyone, not just us. And then later that day, we will all be meeting up to play bingo online, benefiting the meal exchange program. And here's the cool thing. You buy a bingo card, that shit's $5, right? That $5 will directly translate into a hot meal for a complete stranger. And you're like, yo, why is it a complete stranger? Why doesn't it go to somebody I know? Like, fool, if it's somebody you know, you should already be feeding them. The allure of a complete stranger is supposed to entice you, right? You're planting a tree that you will never sit in the shade of or eat fruit from. So dig it, right? Okay, I just want to remind you guys that science is a group of people who co-sign for each other to create consensus. And consensus is just the accepted explanation. And throughout history, people who have rejected that have been ostracized, blacklisted, marginalized, minimalized, devalued, sometimes imprisoned or killed. So next time, a person whose livelihood, whose very funding relies on the ability to tell old people that he found a dinosaur bone, which represents a brand new dinosaur, when all I hear about is dragons throughout all of the oral traditions and the writings of the people who lived on this planet, right? There was dragons. Where are these dragons? Why aren't there dragons? Why is there no mention of dinosaurs? But there is mentions of dragons. But in scientific literature, there is only mentions of dinosaurs, never mentions of dragons. When it could all reconcile itself if science would just admit that they have no idea how the hell the moon is older than the earth, right? Why the moon isn't more affected by the gravitational pull of the sun. Or show me the math problem. All right, guys, it's time to sit here, reflect real quick on how close we are to an ear of corn, or to a green bean, or to an octopus, or to a crab. And to remember that next week, we're going to be shooting multi-dimensional, multi-perspective shit that nobody's ready for. This 4-cam museum experience is fun. It's nice. It makes me feel like Indiana Jones. It kind of makes me look like Indiana Jones. But we're going to keep it pushing. Okay, remember this, man. Make your bed. Karen taught me that, man. I just think it was corny. Make your bed. Then you'll always come home to a made bed. And remember this. Rising tides lift all ships. So don't be a gatekeeper, man. If you know some shit, you can help some people out. You can help push people's dreams. That's only a good return on your own energetic investment. All right? And remember this. If I don't say 5,000 G, then that means either the police or some monkeys with herpes stole my phone, right? All right, so I don't know what camera we're on. I think we're on lots of them right now. Let's just narrow it down to one. And 5,000 G's.